I just woke up. I got some sleep for a change. Kind of. Yeah, no. Not kind of. I did. I did get sleep. I did. That was something that did indeed happen. That was good sleep too. Because I've been sleeping like shit. Just same issue. Where I'm still awake. But time must be passing, but I'm aware. It's like it's like being on low power mode or something as opposed to completely switched off, you know what I mean? Um, but I did get some sleep today, which is good. Uh, Picked a good time of the day, things kind of lined up. Not a productive day at all, but I am on track to reach my deadline for my word count for the end of this month, which is 40K, which is 50%. The 50% mark of my book in theory. In reality, it'll probably be blah blah blah. It'll probably be more than that, more than 80K, but we'll just say, for sake of argument, that it's 80K. I'm realizing that I'm probably going to have to do some severe edits of particular chapters, though. Because I've got these like flashback chapters to a character when he's younger, but there's no the only purpose it sort of um fills is to sort of fill in his backstory, but the chapters themselves are just kind of like there's not a whole lot to them. It the the only function is to fill in the backstory. They don't have their own kind of inherent plot going on, I suppose. Like there's stuff that happens in the chapters, obviously, tragedies or things that shape a man or a boy, you know. Um, but like not maybe not enough, you know. I wouldn't want it to be the case that you're reading through something. And I've had books, I've read books like this in the past, like fantasy books and whatnot, where you're really interested and invested in a character or a plot, and then it takes a break from that narrative and it goes to a different story, but you're not that into that story or those characters or that period of time, right? And you just get such a slog to get through those chapters. I hate that. I wouldn't want it to be like that, you know? But essentially, what I'm saying is I'm writing two stories then that are baked into one. But maybe that's not a bad thing. I don't know. I'm not set on it yet. You know, I might just leave them in. I'll just finish the fucking book and then see what happens. I don't have that many of these backstory chapters anyway, so it won't be a huge rewrite, and I'll probably use a lot of the source material that I've already written anyway. So it might be like an afternoon's work, it might be an afternoon every day for a week, I don't know, but it won't be like months and months and months, which is great, because I'll probably be running out of money by then anyway. I need to start looking for a fucking job, but up until not then, things are going all right. Uh, Um, Back to smoking again, uh, which is bad. I I have such an addictive personality. It's really hard. It is really hard, especially when you're by yourself, and it sucks. It's very challenging to admit that, but I think there is merit in admitting that I am weak. That because my whole thing with myself, the identity that I've been trying to forge for myself for as long as I can remember is to self empowerment and integrity and be a man of your word and stoicism and self discipline, right? And all of those things are still true, but it's very hard. It's not the kind of personality, disposition, type, whatever, that makes it easy to admit you're wrong, as opposed to somebody who sort of sets themselves up as a clown or has very low expectations of themselves. It's much easier in that context to admit fault. Um, but for somebody like me, it's very hard to admit fault. But I see value in it, so I am owning that. And my fault that I would be admitting is that I am fucking just weak sometimes. I have such a bad habit of I don't even want to call it a habit because it removes the agency that I have over it from it. And I know that people do that sometimes to kind of distance themselves from the behavior or the lapse in discipline, right? Um, it's hard. It's fucking challenging, especially with how I live. I do not live well. It would be a lot easier if I just tried to get and keep some sort of social life in some way. Like make a decision and actually do that. But it's so much effort and the payoff is so small percentage. But the yield would be potent. It would be undeniably beneficial for me to, I don't know, just do it. See, the problem is there really is nothing in my town, so I would have to go into the city, which is not a problem. Like, I think people misconstrue with me. Sometimes they think I'm terribly socially anxious. It's true that I am socially anxious, but it's not that debilitating. I can do it if I need to. It's just there is an element of effort associated with it, so I always get to this point where I'm like, well, I could do this, or I could just stay here and do something else. I don't know, work. That's the problem. That's the issue that I have. It's like there's not a whole lot of incentive other than kind of trying to jostle myself free from the situation I'm in. I always told myself that it's okay. Eventually, something extreme will happen that will push me on, and then I will need to. But I've had so many extreme events over the past like 5 years, and none of it has kind of pushed me in the direction of people. In fact, it's done the opposite. It's pushed me the other way from people. You know, And there are reasons for that as well, because I have such a distrust of everybody, and I have an element of paranoia about me, and additionally, also working in parallel is a greater self empowerment within myself. So it's like, why do I even need people? But I know that I do need that element of social whatever. It's just how to find it, where to find it. And I know that when I have to get a job, I'll probably make friends at work. I don't have particularly high hopes for that in terms of that being an enriching experience, but I'll do it anyway. And maybe it'll something will work out. I don't know. Not looking forward to that. I don't know. I don't know how to fix my life anymore. Used to feel like I had time, but I don't really feel like I have time to do that anymore. In terms of time left, I guess, to fix everything. There's too much to fix, almost. I don't even know where to begin, to be honest. I don't really know how to fix my life. I just kind of do stuff. I just kind of work, and I just have this idea of building a legacy and then fucking dying. But you've got survival instinct as well. My survival instinct is telling me that I need to kind of reintroduce myself to society in some capacity in order for longevity, or at least sustainability. But it means dedicating time to that. I'm doing it all myself as well, because it's everything I do is by myself. And then how does that work long term? Because I'm not going to be able to stick a shit job. Like I just can't. Get over yourself. It's not as simple as that. It's like it's so soul destroying. Uh, it's so soul destroying. You know, to go somewhere for 8 hours a day and you're just fucking bored to tears. You think about the money. It's like I'm just not fucking. I'm just not built that way. You know. I've been like this for so long, like over 20 years, you know. So it's rewriting a lot of myself as well. Probably for worse. All in the interest of longevity. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I have no answers anymore. Just kind of sad. It's just kind of a sad situation, Unfortunately. Uh, I I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I just want to fucking go, and this has been on my mind for about 20 years. To just go. In fact, I've had a rucksack packed for since I got back from my chaotic marriage. I have not unpacked in all these years since. I have not unpacked. It's been sat there gathering dust. I've had moments where I've been out the door, but I've come back or something has happened that has required my attention. But now now I have a new problem in which that all my family are now dead. And originally, the reason that I didn't go disappear into the ether is and sort of pursue this dream of being a vagrant um, is because my nanny was sick, right? I didn't want to be stuck in the middle of nowhere and wouldn't hear about something that happened that required my attention, or maybe she wanted to see me before she went. But I've done all that now. I said my bit, and now she's gone, and that's fine. Uh, I mean, it's not fine, but it's done. So, but now I have a much better relationship with the only family I've got left, which is mom, than we ever had, because we used to very strained relationship my entire life for lots of reasons. But now it's much better, very amicable and respectful and nice, pleasant, very good sort of cohabitation for the moment. You know, I don't expect that always to be the case, but it's so much better than it ever was, ever. You know, and that's great. But if I was to disappear, because I'm the only family that she has left now too, so what exactly am I to do? And I'm at an age now where becoming like a sort of homeless fucking vagrant is physically demanding, and I'm like pushing 40, you know. I'm not that far off 40, and I don't even know if I could like do it. Like I don't really have any health problems. I'm not particularly unfit. Like it could be much better, but um, I have skin problems and stuff, but like nothing too debilitating. Uh, and then of course, to what end? When you're younger, you don't really think about the end, do you? Uh, like what would my goal be? I don't know. Walk around my fucking island for a year. That would be exciting and interesting and challenging. Uh, but then what? You know, come back here uh, and then have to get a job anyway because I would have spent all my money buying food, right? I just don't know. And see, this is the problem with life, like, at least my life. Uh, I think people take for granted kind of the opportunity that they have if they need it, you know. And I know a lot of people would contest this, you know, but most people, at least in some capacity, have somewhere that they could go when things are the worst, right? Now, most people haven't been in this situation before, but I have, where you have nowhere to turn. You know, you're in a situation where you don't have a solution and you can't fix it yourself, and you just need like somebody that you respect, that you can go to, that can offer you sound advice or at least help you in some way, financially, accommodation, you know, advice, something. Just anything, even if it's somebody that you haven't talked to in 30 years, somebody you don't particularly like, when things are dire, and I mean fucking dire, I would say that most people have somewhere that they can go. You put you put history aside, you put grievances and everything else to the side, and you swallow your pride and you go to that person. You're like, I really need help. And in some way, they will help you because people are good, generally, that way, anyway. If you truly need help, somebody will help you in your monkey sphere, you know. Not me, though. I don't have that anymore. And my grandparents kind of filled that void, I suppose, but not really. And now they're gone, so I don't have uh, anywhere that I can really go to get advice on how to proceed with my life, you know. But I don't know, maybe this is just how life is. Maybe this is just the way it is. Um, because it's not like I'm not doing nothing. I'm developing, I'm doing a fuckload of work. I'm producing things of value to me. I'm not making money, but I'm doing stuff, I'm progressing and developing and nourishing myself and living a human creative experience, Maybe all my self-doubt and the unsettling feeling that I have all the fucking time and the depression that I feel fucking every day and the uncertainty of my future. Maybe this is just the way that life is. Like is a the sort of flow of finances would fix some of that, at least temporarily, but I have to imagine that it would come back to the same thing, and then I would probably quit my job, because it's just kind of the way that I am. When I think more about it, like this, it seems like university would probably be the best thing for me in terms of my future, so I would put aside this notion of uh, playing on fucking hard mode. Just go into debt with everybody else. Just do it. Just shut the fuck up and just go do it. And then go to university and do something, Maybe that would be the way. Maybe that's what I need to do. Ugh. I really don't want to. Fuck. I really don't want to. But maybe I have to. I don't even know how I would do that. I could get the funding now because I've been back in the country for long enough. That was originally the reason that I got rejected for funding. Which is probably for the best, honestly, because I was flying by the seat of my pants when I was applying for university. Then I had this, like student apartment thing and everything like booked, and I was like ready to fucking go, but the finances were so bad, like it was way too expensive, because I didn't want to do like a house share and everything because I'm mature, right? Mature student. It wasn't like I wouldn't have been able to afford it honestly long term. I just wasn't thinking about it. I was just doing, and there were there's merits to that, but it was bad. And it was probably positive that it didn't work out. Uh, but no, like even still, like I don't know how to do any of that, you know? Like I can learn, but like, uh, like I can go to a university here and I would get in fine, but getting up to the actual fucking campus every day would be very challenging. Um, and I'm not sure how that would go as a mature student, because as a mature student you're kind of alienated from everybody anyway, right? And then to what end? Like, what am I really expecting to happen here? Uh, and then again, I could just fucking kill myself, right? Like I could just do that. My mom would be very sad, but whatever. I don't know. Uh, it's like I just wish there was a way to make it more simple. This kind of how I approach problems a lot of the time. You find a way to make it simple. You break it down to its fundamentals, right? You want to be good at cooking. First thing you need to learn, just put salt in everything. Like it's just that easy, you know. You can worry about all the fancy shit later, but just add salt and fuck about with it. And that's what I do with woodworking. It's like, you want to make something with wood, just make a mushroom. That's it. Very simple. I just go from there. With writing, it's like, you want to write a fucking book? You want to write 40K in a couple of months? Just write 500 words a day. Like it's an hour of your time. You just break it down. In this case, I'm not really sure what that looks like. I'm not really sure how to break my life down. You know, I think I used to walk a lot. I don't really walk anymore, but used to walk a lot for hours and hours and hours. And I think that's what I was doing then. I was trying to break my life down. If I can just go for a walk for a couple of hours, then everything else is easier. I know that it doesn't hold a whole lot of face validity, but um, that I think that's what the process was. That's what I was trying to do, uh, and it kind of worked honestly for a while. I did feel a lot better about myself. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think my life is just really fucked up.